Well, hello, my crafty friends, and welcome to another tutorial and video by yours truly. Thank you for joining me. And yeah, so what have I got for you today? I have got for you a swing card, which is like that. So it folds. It's only a bit of folding, scoring, and then you get a card like this. And I will take you step by step on how to make this card. So without further ado, let's crack on. So what you're going to need, you're going to need 2 pieces of A4 cardstock, and this is the Crafter's Companion multi-purpose cardstock because I got loads of it basically. Because I shop quite regularly with Crafter's Companion. They do 3 for 2 deals, and sometimes when you buy their showstopper, you get card included. So I've ended up with quite a bit. So, but yeah, so any A4, this is about 300 grams worth, 300 gram weight in card. So let's do some cutting and scoring. So first off, we're going to take one of our pieces of card and we're going to cut it down. Now, to give you some measurements, this card ended up measuring for 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, and I've done that so it could fit happily into a 6x6 envelope. The other thing is as well, what was I going to say? So yeah, so it's basically 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. Now in metric, that is 14.5 by 14.5. So that's quite convenient. So we need to chop our card down. So if it's 5 3/4, double that, and it's 11.5. Hang on a minute. Let me get my bearings. 5 and 3. Let's go this way first. So, and then, so that's our 5 3/4, and then, so we need to go on the long side up on the top there, 11.5. And that's all you've got waste. So it's quite good. And then we need to put that to one side, and we need to do the same to the other piece. So basically you do need 2 pieces of card. So 5 3/4. And again, these bits can go into your scrap box. Keep them again. And then 11.5 again. And make sure it's all butted up tightly to the top, and then we can get rid of that bit, and then we can do some scoring. So basically one of them just gets folded in half, so you can get your scoring tool and score at obviously 5 3/4, and that will give us our card blank. Look at that. Oh, I just so love it when things get come together. So there's our card blank. Da-da-da. So that's quite good. Pleased with that. So, I mean, not that we've done a lot yet, but on this one, we need to score in 3 equal parts. So I have written down some measurements. 2 7/8 is the first one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's the longish between the 3 3/4 and the 3 inch, which in modern money is about 7.2, 7.3 centimeters. So score that. And then the next one is 5 3/4. So that's obviously the half of the card. So we can do that quite easily. And then let me just get rid of that. And then the last one is 8 5/8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5/8. Or you could, if it's easier for you, you could turn it around and do this one as the first one, which is 2 7/8. Oh, excuse me. So whatever's easiest. As I've got it round this one, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah. So whatever's easiest is best for you, whatever you find easy. So we put that away, and then we just trim these down and score them. I'm not worried about which way I'm folding. I will do that in a minute, because you do need a certain way of folding this, but I'm just making sure like that. Right, so let's stop. So this one on the end, go back, so you'll have 2 mountain folds together. So let's do that. Let's do the, so you've got mountain, valley, so that is important. So and this bit here, which will go along there, we need to cut a little bit out. So so what we do is, if you've got your trimmer handy, and you only cut it up until that first score line, do not go beyond it. So just trim up to that first score line. So I'm going to go with about let's go 2 centimeters. No, let's go 1.5 centimeters. I think that would be, yeah, that would be, I think that would be enough. 1.5 centimeters. Make sure that blade is at the top, and then just bring it down, and then you can turn it over and do it the other side. So 1.5 centimeters, if it's, we can put that to one side. Now all we do is, you can do it on the trimmer if you want to, if you feel more comfortable, but we just need to go from the top to the bottom, cut that piece away, and just be very careful like that. Okay, so that's your first bit done. That's the bit that goes on the inside, and we can just put that to one side and forget about that for the minute. Now let's do our aperture on the front of the card. So I've used Spellbinder's nestability dies. So what have we got? This is my collection of, you can use, obviously just use what you've got in your stash. So if you've got nested square dies, all well and good. If you've got some other shape, use them. I mean, there's loads out there, loads of different companies have used different shapes, different sizes, blah blah blah. But so yeah, so use what you've got. If you've got something different, then fine, cool, go for it. Again, like papers, I've changed the papers on this second one. Let's just bring this one back in. This will make a very nice Mother's Day card, so you can actually get away with putting some die cut flowers in the corner, Happy Mother's Day in the middle, a nice decorative paper around the edge. You can also put decorative paper in the middle or on these panels here. So it's got a lot of potential, and you've got a big space on the back if you want to do a bigger message. So yeah, so you know, use what you've got. So going back to this one, this is the one I used for the aperture in the center. So I'm going to go with this one. I'm just going to eyeball it. I think that's about right. But if you are a bit more precious about your gaps, you can actually measure it. Get your ruler to make sure. See, that's about 1 inch. That's 1 inch. That's 1 inch. That's 1 inch. That's 1 inch. So it's basically central. So yeah, I just eyeballed that, and I'm using the Gemini MIDI, and it will go through the Gemini MIDI. So I'm just gonna swap this around. So yeah, so it will go on my Gemini MIDI, and I've got that over here, so I can just push that through. Go back if you want to. And then we can put that to one side. Oh, sorry, just knocked you. And then take off our die. You can use washi tape on there if you want to. It would probably be easier, because that first one I did, I ripped the card because I used a new piece of tape. Hey ho. Right, okay, let's do some right. What do I want? What do I like? I've got a bit of sticky on there. Now I'm doing this because this is a grungy paper, so I thought, right, do a grungy one because it'll give you ideas for men's cards, and with Father's Day coming up in June, so you know, it might give you an idea for a Father's Day card. So I'm going to go with I'm going to leave that. I'm going to use this, and I'm going to cut it down to the size of my front piece, which we did say was 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. So I'm going to take it down so I've got a border, so that will make it 5.5 by 5.5, because then I still will give me a white edge around the border. So 5.5 by 5.5, and just check with your ruler that that's exactly what you've done. So yeah, 5.5, 5.5, look at that. So that will fit quite happily onto your front piece of card with a nice border all the way around. So all we need to do now is cut out the aperture bit. So with my nestabilities, that was the one I cut that, so I went the next size up. So I'm going to use this to cut out my aperture from the middle of my piece of paper, my nice decorative piece of paper, and I'm going to slip that through the Gemini MIDI again, with remembering to I'm just going to move that over a little bit, I think. I'm just going to measure this because I think 1.5, 1.5, and I've reversed back to centimeters because that was easier. Yeah, 1.5, so that's good, that's cool. Right, we could put that through the Gemini MIDI, which I've got here. Oh, excuse me. that back over there, and then put that back over to there, and then we should have that there like that. Put that to one side, and then keep that. And then, right, the other thing I found when I did the first one was if while the card is flat, so if I place that over there like that, it is much easier. So so that's what I'm going to do. So I've got my snail here, so I'm just going to go in with a little bit of the snail. Of course, if you want to use wet glue, if you want a bit of wiggle room, I'm just gonna go for it. That's fine. If you do find that you've gone a bit, what, you can always put a die cut or something over it, and that'll be fine. So okay, let's now concentrate and do this bit here. Right, let's give you some more measurements. Actually, we could put this together. So just check that you're, yeah, that'd be cool. Again, just keep double checking this, because this is quite important that you do have it the right way. So these fold back as far as, yeah, so so that's what you're aiming for. That's where you're going to stick, and it's down on the bottom side. So just double check that you've got it the right way around, and then we can put these, and just be very careful how you put them down, because you don't want anything, oh, that's my earbud come out. You do not want an overlap on this edge, so just keep it slightly snug up that way, but only a fraction, it doesn't matter. And then this bit here, we just need to put some tape down there, and then down there. So on this bit, you only put the snail on 3 sides, and then we can fold that, and then just neatly fold that all up together like so, and then we can just give that a nice final crease. Okay, so there we go. There's the start of your pop-out card. So we can put our dies away, and we're just going to do the background and the middle bit to put our swing bit in. So put that away. I measured this, and I cut it without using the die cutting machine. So because obviously we want our piece of card to fit snugly inside that aperture. So we're going to start with the background first, and I'm just going to double check and measure that it is right. It's 3.5, so I could take that down to 3 3/4. No, that's 3.5. 3 1 2 3 eighths. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Yeah, 3 3/8. I think I can cut this down to, hopefully, if I've done my maths right. So 1 2 be 1, 2, 3 and 3/8. Well, that's mm, um, 3, 1, 2. Seems an awful lot. Let's do it in centimeters, see how that pans out. So I'm going to switch to centimeters for a minute. Yeah, that's 9 centimeters. That's 9 centimeters square. Yeah, so it's 9 centimeters square. So so I want to take, that was about right. So I'm going to take it down to 8.5. 8.5 centimeters square. This is why I swap between the two. So so if we put that down, yes, even though we've got a slight border all round, that doesn't matter. So if that's 8.5, we need to take this down to 8 centimeters. So put those there, put that there. Now on here, you only need to, if I turn that over, to go from the middle, so just a little pencil mark, and then we can put our snail or double-sided, whatever you choose to use. And then we could put that in place, get it in the middle, like that. And then you've got the makings of your swing card. So we can then do all 4 sides on this. And naturally, before you stick this down, do your decoration. So do whatever you want to do. I stenciled that, ink, Distress Oxide, I think it was Shabby Shutters, and then Wild Wilderness. Soon tell you, I've got them here. Forest Moss. And I distressed it a little bit. So yeah, so do that first before you do anything else. Decorate the front of it, put your message on, die cuts, Happy Mother's Day, Father's Day, whatever. And then that can go down onto your card front. And there, ladies and gentlemen, you have your swing card. How cool is that? So I hope you've enjoyed that. That is 2 cards. Thank you very much indeed for your company. And we'll see you soon. And if you do like what you've seen, please like and subscribe. And also, if you belong to any channels or groups on Facebook, Twitter, then please copy and paste my YouTube channel onto those sites if you can. That would be absolutely brilliant. And until next time, happy crafting. Bye-bye.